Right, hello, I'm Milo. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. So today I'm following on from certain things I've been doing, which lately is old 8-bit computers and stuff, Commodore 64 and so on. So I'm doing some more of that today. I'm playing a couple of Commodore 64 games, some Amiga games. Some of these are ports, so in total it's 3 games. And the theme is that the star of the game is a lady who transforms into some kind of animal. And we'll see how that plays out. We're going to have a snake, a fox, and a cat by the end. And some of the cover art on the sides of the screen. I was trying to set up a chat widget this morning, but I didn't quite get there. I'm not very good at this kind of thing. But anyway, hello. Hi, Gibbon. I wonder if you've heard of any of these games today. I'm playing Anaconda, Vixen, and Mafdet. I think I featured Vixen briefly on a previous stream, but I'm going to go more in depth with it today. But we're starting with one called Anaconda, and let's R-U-N X-Ray, the Marvelous Crackers. Gibbon is not familiar with these games. That's cool. So it'll be new to all of us. So this was a 1988 release. Let's see if I can get past the nice demo scene screen there. Lovely. Let's see. I'll show you what the game is supposed to plays like in its original release before I then show you the modified version. Oh, what's wrong? Sorry, just setting up my other devices and such. Yeah, everything's fine. So the crackers have kindly given us some trainer features here, infinite lives and such. But to start with, we'll turn these features off. So I've pressed N to go through those 3. Oh yeah, now there's no sound at all in this game. Some commenters that I read online thought maybe it was unfinished, never actually released, but just sort of surfaced from, I don't know, leaked dumps or whatever. But whatever the case, the sound doesn't work in this game. So what I'm going to do to have something going on in the background is play a song that I was talking about in the previous stream. In my rambling days during Aztec Challenge, I mentioned Stefan Poiss's trance soundtrack for the space sim game Parsec, and I'm going to play the track that I was quoting from Moyo today. There you go. There's my window. Because I am playing on my Mac today, so I have access to my music library. All right, let's see if this comes through. Okay, that looks good. Cool. Turn it up a bit. All right. That might be too much. Okay. So anyway, Anaconda is a game about a lady jungle adventurer who can also transform into a snake. This happens contextually, but yeah, there's a lot more text actually scrolling on the little ticker there that sort of tells you something about the game. That's actually going to stay during the game as well. So when I hit fire, it should work. It didn't work. Hold on. Sure, I set this up. I tested everything today. Anyway, we'll get there. That's lost my settings. Oh well. Is this gonna work? Oh, port 2? Have I set up port 2? Jeez, this always happens. Yeah, that's it. That's the problem. Device emulator. You know, it's better than some I've used. Alright, now that my joystick is in port 2, I'll be able to play. Let's go. So here we are, Anaconda in the jungle. There's lots of hazards to get past, but we do have a bow and arrow that we can use to shoot down some things. There's a 12-minute time limit for the whole game, but if you know what you're doing, it can be completed in 3. Now, here's where the first problem arises. This screen is impossible. You can't clear it at all, ever. The collision on the spears is present on the screen at all times. So any moment when you're not ducking, you instantly die. So you're supposed to crawl forward in the gaps and duck under the spears and presumably destroy this spear thrower with your own bow and arrow. But as soon as you stand up, that hitbox is just constantly there and will instantly kill you. And that's why we need to use the trainer features. So let's see if my save state is set up. It is, perfect. There is music on the title screen, which is nice. I'm gonna pause the Parsec soundtrack for a second so we can enjoy this for a minute. Kevin laughing, that's amazing. Yep. Yeah, this certainly supports the concept that it was unfinished or not properly released. While we're here on the title screen, we should talk a bit about the credits. Intelligent design is given as the concept, possibly the publisher. Graphics Mark Eason, Malcolm Smith. No, wait, this is the wrong game. I got confused. My save state took me to a different game. I've never seen that before. I guess I haven't tried that before. Oh, I got so confused. I'm sorry. We'll forget all that. We'll talk about Vixen later. Jeez, what happened there? I thought I had a save state for this, but anyway. We'll just run this again and we'll use the cracks this time. Of course, the demo scene screen has its own track. Alright, I'm going to start the Parsec soundtrack again now because, of course, Anaconda has no audio. Hope you're enjoying it. Alright, so yes, we'll give ourselves infinite lives. Time limit is not a factor, so we won't bother turning that off. But we need to turn off collisions. This will make me invincible and give the game no challenge at all, but we're going to do it anyway. It only takes 3 minutes. At the bottom of the screen, in the middle, is the life counter. There's 3. It sort of looks like a bird, but I guess it represents Anna in her human form. So yeah, the spears aren't going to kill us now because we turned off collision. I guess the snake has a separate life counter. Maybe you become the snake when you run out of human lives. No, I just got a game over before, didn't I? Well, anyway. This is the game. We'll go through all the screens. There's no challenge to it anymore, but... oh yes, and this ticker, you've completed 15% of the quest by clearing like 4 screens. That gives you an idea of the total length. So when we fall into this pit, we automatically turn into a snake, and that's where that comes into it. Like I said, it's a contextual transformation. It only happens on screens like this. It's not something we really use to our advantage, but the snake can't attack, so it's kind of a detriment. Oh, the fire button also cycles through your items. Okay, that's interesting. That's going to come into play when we pick this up. So these gems, I have like investigated how to play this game because otherwise you just can't do it. So I do know for a fact that you can't get past this skull even even with the trainer that gives us no collision, that lightning from the skull instantly kills you. Now, I respawned on a screen that I hadn't been to this side of before. When you get to the skull screen, if you backtrack, you'll come out at this pit screen, which is the pit we fell in earlier. Or if you die, you will respawn here. It doesn't make sense in the game world. Like, that means that some screens are mapping to other spaces that they shouldn't be connected to, but whatever. With the 2 gems, we now have 2 invincibility powers. You need both to get through the whole game. So when you're on this screen, with that selected on the item menu, you press space and it activates it and you become invincible. Okay, it didn't work. That's a problem. Maybe I needed to use the golden one, but I don't think I can win now. because I've used that one. Great game, excellent game. We're just gonna restart it then. Jeez. Okay. This is a very well made game. I do have credits for this one. I was reading out credits for Vixen earlier from the title screen, but I've written down the credits for this. So this is a game by Daryl Bowers and Ian Bastone, published by Future Designs, if it even was published. I will make a save state this time. Infinite lives, that's misspelled by the way. Yes, no time limits, no collisions, yes. So I will save state, that's good. Alright, we've actually gone so long that we've gone on to the next track in the Parsec soundtrack. Parsec theme remix. Actually, you know, I'm going to go back to Mind Killer, that's one of my favorites. Mind Killer. Alright. So I have 3 minutes now to beat the game. That's the duration of the Mind Killer track. And I can do it because I know how. I've watched the long play that takes 3 minutes. And we're going to do it speed style this time. So snake form, get out of here. You don't really see the snake too much. Grab that gem, go over here. Skull is here, backtrack 1. Grab this gem. So now we move over to gold gem. You have to activate it on the screen that you need it. So I've activated it and the skull let me pass. That's how it works, people. Now we find a new area, the beach. Actually, I will compliment the backgrounds here. Lovely wave motion with the mountains, the colors and stuff. It looks very nice. I think this is a really cool graphic for the background there. Frogs! Many frogs! Look out! Very dangerous, I'm sure. I don't know what the bottle does. Presumably use it to bypass some trap, but it's not an issue with reduced collision or whatever. Spear throwers, oh no! At this point we've completed 49% of the quest, and we're at the next temple. You automatically go snake form inside the temples. I do know why this is. So I mentioned Daryl Bowers and Ian Bastone. One of them I found some other credits for that interested me. So Daryl Bowers also worked on the version of Alien 3, the licensed game for NES. I don't think I played the NES one on my Alien 3 stream a while back. Okay, here we go. So we're using the other crystal now to get past this skull. Otherwise it will zap you immediately to death. He also worked on the Commodore 64 port of the game North and South, which if you remember back to my Ludosity and Daniel Remar streams, inspired a Princess Pitch spin-off called... I don't remember what it was called. It was the kind of strategy game where you were the Christmas elves and stuff. Yeah, the game's... Gibbon says, the games certainly look neat. Yeah, maybe not programmed so well, but it looks really cool. So yeah, the dragon, not a problem for us with no collision. Oh, the crouching as well is messed up with the trainers I have activated or whatever. Whatever. Alright, and I guess this was the objective of the quest, even though the ticker, I think it's lagging a little behind. It says I'm 80% of the way there. This is the final screen of the game. You can walk to the right, but nothing happens. Oh, yeah, and then you come back. It kind of flickered my sprite off, but now the ticker's updated. You've succeeded. You've got the treasure. You have accomplished 100%. Let's go to Parsec theme. Please consume within 3 days of opening. Keep refrigerated. Best before. Sell by date. C base. So some nice jokes there on the ticker for the end there. And that was Anaconda. That's the whole thing. Much more difficult, I'm sure, with collision on, if the collision was working properly. With the collision as it is programmed now, completely impossible and stupid. So that's that. We're going to move on now to a different game. And yeah, so Vixen is the one that's going to take longer, so I'm going to do that last. what I'm going to do now is quit this and play Mafdet and the Book of the Dead. This is actually on the Amiga, so we're going to be shifting consoles, but we'll be back on the Commodore 64 by the end of the stream. The Amiga emulator is a bit of a pain to set up, but I think I've got it working the way I wanted. So that was 1988. This is 1989. Mafdet. Launch, and now capture the window. Oops. When the emulator launches, it really grabs your mouse, so you have to then go through it. Doopy doopy doo. Sorry. You can see on the right side of the screen is the cover art for Mafdet. Both of them actually have some very nice big 80s hair, which is cool. What's this window? Oh yeah, never mind. So there's Mafdet, in all her Egyptian glory. This is a game set in ancient Egypt. Capture that. Yep. Whoops. Oh gosh, why has it done that? Whoop. Wow, great stuff there, FSUAE. Oh boy, what's it done? I'm going to have to launch that again. Okay. Is that capturing? Good grief. Yeah, because FSUA is in widescreen. There's a way to switch it to 4 to 3, but I couldn't figure it out. Don't worry about it. So we're not going to see that cover art during this gameplay. Let me see. This one. Oof. Whenever I emulate Amiga for these streams, I always go, never again, never again. But here we are. I wanted to do this theme, so I'm sticking with it for now. Yeah, so this was on the Amiga. It was also released on the Atari ST, but even with the difficulties of the FSUAE launcher, I find it easier to use than my Atari ST emulator. So both of those are like 16-bit computer platforms, more advanced than the previous Commodore 64 generation. You can see some credits here, programmed by Chetamir Igley and graphics by A. Tompkins, which is Alan Tompkins. The publisher is Software Horizons. I didn't really find anything else for any of those people or corporations. So, is this going to like launch? Do I have to click on it or what? Yeah, you can hear those disk access noises. There we go. Okay. So here we are. Yep. That's all working as intended. Why don't I just make a save state here in case we need to load again. All right, cool. So this is Mafdet and the Book of the Dead. I am taking the part of Mafdet, who, based on the back of the box instructions, is the ancient Egyptian goddess of revenge. When I looked up the sort of biographies of all the pantheon of Egyptian gods, and there's a lot of them, she was actually listed as a goddess of justice, but you know, there can be some overlap there, I guess. She doesn't have any cat features in this. If you actually look at the temple here that I'm about to enter, that's sort of how she is depicted in some things that I saw. Humanoid figure with the head of a cat. I think that's pretty common for a lot of Egyptian deities. It also mentioned when I looked it up that she's sort of an early goddess. So over the sort of 3 kingdom periods of ancient Egyptian history, you know, things change over time. So she sort of lost prominence over the years. Gibbon says she looks like she's walking with a chainsaw. Yeah, sort of. It's quite short, but this is her sword. Almost a gladius, I guess. I do have different moves as well. I didn't really show them off during combat, but I have a swing as well as a stab. And I even have a kick. Ha-ha. Ha. Ha. It doesn't look very impressive, but there you go. Now, I've also watched a video of this and read some forum posts about people trying to puzzle out how the game works. It can be completed in 4 minutes. If you look at the bottom of the screen, my sort of health is slowly dropping. So that's effectively a timer as well as a health bar. And being cat-like, I have 9 lives. That's the second bar at the bottom. When the first bar runs down, I lose one of those lives. And you have 9 to get through the game. That's, I think, all we're going to see of Mafdet, because I'm going to hit space right now. It consumes one of my lives, but it transforms me into a cat. And according to advice and videos I've seen, this is the most efficient way to get through the game. Enemies basically ignore you. You're much faster. You don't have to engage with the crap combat, which is a real hassle. So yeah, we're going to be a cat for the rest of the game. It really looks like a miniature lioness or something. But yeah, it's a cat, I guess. We also have dragons for some reason. They breathe fire. When you get to a door, you press E to enter it. And this game also has toads or frogs. This is also running faster than the video that I saw, so I don't know why that is. Maybe something in my settings is putting me on turbo speed. Basically, we need to explore this world, and it's mostly like these catacombs or tombs or whatever this is, and find these artifacts. The tracker on the left, it feels like it's not actually tracking the things you pick up. It's just showing you what you need to get. So I guess you just need to remember it yourself. But okay, here's my problem. I don't actually know where to go. Okay, this was correct. How about that? We're now in the Scorpion Cave, so we might meet the Scorpion King, but I doubt it. We're going to get attacked by scorpions as well as these sort of skeleton warriors. Okay, I messed up somewhere. I guess I didn't get all the artifacts. I swear I did. But you're supposed to go up to this boat and maybe interact with it. And that lets you... Yep, a cat goddess only has 9 lives. Game over. If you have the right artifacts, that you're supposed to get on that boat and then progress to the next phase of the game. Yeah, so as Given says, and very similar to Anaconda as well, these games have a lot in common. The graphics look neat, but the gameplay looks janky. That's very well said, because the gameplay is incredibly janky. The screen flipping sort of is disorienting, because especially when you're moving fast as a cat, it sort of happens sooner than you expect. And it makes navigating the spaces really tricky. Okay. I think the game's loading. No, I have to press a button for it to actually do something. That's a really cool look for Mafdet, by the way, on the title screen. And she doesn't really look like that for the actual game itself, unfortunately. She looks not as cool during actual gameplay. Let's try our kick. Go. I don't know if that made contact. It's so short range. Yeah, so incredibly jank. We're going to have another attempt at the game now from the start. And I will be using cat strats again, because it's by far... It's the only way you're going to get through. So this is cat walking speed. But if you jump by holding up, you go at much faster speed. So that's definitely the way to go. So basically... Oh, see, I've made a mistake here. I've fallen into a pit. There might be a hidden artifact here, actually. Is that the problem? I know that you can exit this screen by interacting. There's like an invisible door, or maybe that's a different dark screen. I'm just mashing E as I'm walking along here. I might be just stuck. All right, never mind. I'll load my earlier state then. And we can start again. Since we're here, let's just cat our way through the entire game, shall we? The instructions on the back of the box say, you know, you have to grab the right artifacts and whatever, but it actually also says there are some artifacts that you shouldn't get. I don't know if that's actually stopped me from boarding the boat or what, but the video I watched, I'm pretty sure got everything. All those icons on the right, on the left side anyway. So I don't know if that instruction was a red herring or what. This game's just really obtuse, I think. So yeah, a lot of these screens have sort of borders, but it's hard to tell because you might be able to progress, or there might just be an invisible wall that you can't really see. Oh, I think I missed this before. That should help. Okay, so best just to explore these rooms more thoroughly. Of course, now we have a choice between two doors. That's a problem. So what I'm actually going to do is make another save state, and then we can return to that if we pick the wrong door. The cat's very cute. So yeah, they've gone with this idea that Mafdet has a human aspect and a cat aspect and can swap between them, instead of having animalistic features on a humanoid figure. Come to think of it, we don't really see any other characters in the game, but in the lore, the Book of the Dead of the title was stolen by the evil god Seth. When I looked up some research for Seth, he was described not really as evil, but more as a god of war and chaos, which, you know, is, I would say, evil adjacent perhaps, but anyway, he doesn't really appear in the game, so whatever. According to those instructions, without the Book of the Dead, Egyptian souls cannot pass on to the afterlife or whatever. So that's why we need to get it back. And we were actually given this mission by, oh, who was it? Isis? I didn't write that down. I was reading the box before. It might have been Isis. She was also called the goddess of the earth, which, again, might be slightly erroneous, but who knows? Actually, I went in the same door I went in before, which was wrong. So what I'm actually going to do is load the state and go to the other door. Let's see if that's a better option for me. Well, here we are in a different place. At one point you do need to fall down a pit, but it's not here, I guess. But I wonder if you can head out the other side of that screen. Oh no, over here. Yes, enemies don't ignore you as a cat, but it's a lot easier to avoid them. Is it this pit? This is the Scorpion Cave. Okay, cool. And I saved after I'd found that other artifact, so this time we might be in with a better chance. Okay. You can just imagine how long this would take if you were engaging with combat properly and actually fighting all these skeletons. So there you see, as I found all the artifacts properly, it allowed me onto the boat, which lets me progress. Very nice. So we'll go through this crack in the wall. Just leap our way through these screens. Wait, another Ankh? Why would I want that? And now which door do I go in? Oh, great. There's two doors. The problem is once you go in a door, it's sort of a one-way trip, isn't it? Oh, not that one, though. Jeez Louise, I have no idea. Wait, we're back here? I guess I just went in a big loop. So it's only this one. And then... Oh, I'm so lost. Oh, here we go. A new thing. Oh. This is the dark screen that I guess I saw in the video, and that's the invisible place where you press the E key, which leads directly to the end of the game. Did I win? I got that scroll, which presumably is the Book of the Dead. Oh, now I need to press interact at the cat statue. And that's the end. I completed it. Thank goodness. Bit clueless, but just from that video and a bit of advice, there you go. The gods are pleased. Well done. Yeah. It's only slightly better than the ending screen you get by finishing Donkey Kong Land. Congratulations. And then roll credits. But we don't even get credits in this. But to be fair, we did see them here on the sort of splash screen. All right. Yeah, I was looking up what other cat gods there were. Bastet is probably the most well-known, but I also found one called Mao, which I think I also read somewhere that the word for cat in ancient Egyptian is just Mao or something, because that's the sound that they make, like Mao, Mao. Another one was Matit. Yeah, but okay. We're done. That was Mafdet in the Book of the Dead. What's the time? Wow. Half an hour, having now cleared two of the 3 games that I'm playing today. Wow. Hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, that's all there is to it. So you can see why I would pair Anaconda and Mafdet together. They're very similar in a lot of ways. Okay, so now if I quit this, I'll be able to launch the next game I'm playing. So yeah, Vixen is the next one. This one, oh, sorry. Anaconda didn't really have a setting, and that one was set in ancient Egypt, but this one is supposedly set on an alien planet. So what I'm going to do is play Vixen on a couple of different platforms now, especially because I have the time for it. But I'll start with the... Oops, what happened? It's lost the path for the ROM, or the disk that I had loaded. I've got 2 cracks here, but they're the same, so... I just had to tell her where it was a second time, and yeah, I got the idea. Alright, it's picked it up. Okay, cool. So, Vixen is another game that I'm playing today. Oh, I forgot that I actually mapped those buttons to my controller. Never mind. Let's do the trainer. Press the joystick button. Oh yeah, flashing lights warning. Sorry about that. This is going to happen on these consoles when you load a tape. Or disc in this case. Sorry. I can warp if needs be. This is just a blank screen. Warp mode. Oh, do I need to click on this one? Something's gone wrong. Well, I did make a save state after loading it for this purpose. Hopefully that works. After my track record today, who knows? Yeah, so the animal transformation in Anaconda was contextual and actually seemed like a punishment for entering those screens that reduced your abilities. In Mafdet, the cat was definitely the superior option. You could do it at will. You were penalized for doing so by losing a life, but oh, that's almost illegible. But yeah, we'll see how the fox transformation works in this game, Vixen. So I'll tell you a little something about it based on this screen. Intelligent Design is a company that made this. They also made a Jaws game that looked pretty interesting on the Commodore 64. Half management, half side-scrolling diving stuff. Published by Martech Games, who also were responsible for Rex, a game I played on a previous stream about a space dinosaur mercenary guy. They also did a Zoids game on C64 as well as Nigel Mansell's Grand Prix, a name very dear to me thanks to my own SNES collection. You know what? Since this game is pretty samey as you do it, I'll talk about it more as I play. I don't know why this is so dim, by the way. Couldn't figure that out. But yes, here I am, Vixen, the last surviving human on the planet, what was it called? Grenath, apparently. So I was raised by foxes in the wilds of this planet. Everybody else, all the other humans, I believe, were killed by dinosaurs on this alien planet. But yeah, there's some nice dinosaur graphics here, actually, on the UI bar at the top. The enemies, I don't know if I would call them dinosaurs. This one maybe, but this one, what is that supposed to be? They're all like alien mutant dinosaurs, so I guess they can get away with it, but it's just a little bizarre. They kind of half went with the dinosaur theme, but didn't really go all the way with it, I guess. Or it's just sort of a mishmash of things. I'll spend a little time on the Amiga version, but I really want to play the C64 version more, and you'll see why when I get to it. Okay. Advantages of the Amiga version. The increased detail and color of the graphics. Oops. But as you can sort of tell, it's a little bit choppy, not so smooth to play, or... What the heck is going on? I just can't get this jump. Okay, so it does depend on how long you hold the button. So I need to like push the joystick up and across at the same time in what you might call a diagonal motion, but it's not something that is that easy to do. I have that mapped differently on the Commodore 64 emulator. I'll try to, I guess, clear the first stage because we have so much time. You only transform into a fox in between stages by collecting these fox pickups, and that fills our fox bar at the top of the screen. So it is a bit like Anaconda. You only become the fox on certain screens and only if you fulfilled certain conditions. I don't know what all these other pickups do. Maybe nothing. The important ones are in the spheres. That's the fox heads. Oh my gosh. The joystick stuff. It's pretty rough on a DualShock 4, I'll tell you. Maybe if I had a real Amiga joystick, it might be easier. Or if I had keyboard controls, maybe. I don't know if that's an option. Yeah. Okay, cool. And of course, Vixen dies in one hit. It's pretty rough. I don't like that at all. Oh, what did that do? I kind of thought it would be deadly to me, but apparently it was deadly to all enemies on screen. Wait, what? Oh. Apparently a certain part of my hitbox needs to interact with things to pick them up, so I actually needed to crouch to grab that fox pickup. And I should be near the end of the level, but without enough fox pickups to enable the transformation. So I'll do another level because I want to show off the fox, how it looks in this version before we play a different version. So yeah, what I heard from reviews of this game, there are many different ports or conversions to other consoles and stuff, or computers rather. And Commodore 64 version was seen as superior thanks to smoother scrolling and animation. We'll see how that plays out when I get to it, but for that reason I'm going to be focusing more on that one. And I'll move on to that soon. But just to give you an idea of what it looks like. Also, I'm pretty sure that the designs of the enemies are unique to each version. Or at least some of them are. Oh, God. I just need to get past these tricky jumps, I guess. There we go. Oh yeah, the other reason I want to play this C64 version is I've got a cracked trainer version that has infinite life cheat enabled, so yeah. I make no apologies for this. Ah, no! Come on. Jump. Yeah, okay. Whoa, that's a cool alien. A bit xenomorphish. Alright, we should get the fox now. Oh, I've actually lost some fox. What happened? It really looked like I filled up the bar. Do I have to do another level? Now entering bonus level. Okay, I did fill it up. That's really hard to read, especially with how dim the screen is. I'm so sorry about this. Anyway, here's the fox. Pretty dang cute. So, you have to hit fire to break these rocks while you're sort of overlapping them. Oh, now my bar is falling down. Or is that how it works? No. You automatically break them as you run past them, but you have to hit fire to grab the goodies inside. Gems in this case. I don't know what they do. They might be the key to stopping the rapacious dinosaurs, but who knows. Since this is a backtrack, you can just run through them and grab them on the way out. Some of them are special and go into that bar. I don't know what that does. Maybe I'll figure it out in the Commodore version. Well, this is... the Amiga was made by Commodore as well. The Commodore 64 version is what I'm going to be playing next. But yeah, pretty cute fox. Gibbon likes the fox. Yeah, I think it's pretty cute. Oh, I've found a whip upgrade, I guess. That's nice. Something to make the bonus stage more worthwhile, rather than just increasing our score of points. I really don't know why it's so dim. Okay. We'll do our little crouching duck walk to get to level 3. It looks the same. It looks the exact same. And all enemies die in one hit. So what does the whip upgrade do? Who knows? Who cares? I'm going to play a different version of this game now. I'll make a save state quickly. Oh, dang. Just in case I want to return to it. There's a pause button. I think if you hit like help, but I don't know what help is mapped to in this Amiga emulator, so yeah. Oh, a new bird enemy. That's different. There's also some, you know, pretty cool kind of alien-ish structures in the background to give you an idea that we're on the alien planet. But I feel like the main draw of this game was the main character in the male gaze sense. They made her sexy and wearing a bikini because I guess that's what you need to do to sell the game to your intended audience. Since we're done with this version now, I'll close that and I'll actually show you a bit clearer the cover art of this game, which is the same for all the different versions. Sorry. Move that. This is Vixen, and if you look at the bottom right, that sort of mark, that like label, giant free giant poster inside. So this was part of the appeal of the game, was you would get a poster of this this model. We do know who it is actually. Corinne Russell, who appeared in the movie Highlander, by the way. Actor and model, posed for the cover of this game. Yeah. Not wearing a blue bikini like she is in the game, but there you go. So we're actually going to go back to the Commodore 64 version now. As I said, going to launch that up, get that going, and I'll show you what the difference is. It's quite stark. This one, and then what? Smart tape, go. Okay, so we will have seen this screen already thanks to my accidental loading of the state earlier. I really didn't know it would do that, but oh well. Choice of a new generation. This is another cracker group. Fair Light has cracked this for us. Brought to you by Gandalf and the Hobbit. Oh, and cracked and trained by Gollum. So it's a real joint venture of Tolkien characters here. Let me see. So I've shown you the Amiga version. Similar versions to that. It was also released on the Atari ST, the Amstrad CPC, and on DOS, and they all look pretty similar to each other. That means, like, what is it, 6 versions altogether, and this one is less powerful than most of the other ones that existed, because the Commodore 64 is a less powerful machine than all of those ones. But these trade-offs can sometimes have unexpected effects. We actually saw this with the aforementioned Rex, where the Amiga version looked much nicer with detailed graphics, but it played so slowly and clunkily, and the ZX Spectrum port actually played a lot nicer. There's a similar thing going on here. So as with Anaconda, and indeed Mafdet to some extent. There's a timer system in this one as well. You might have seen it in the Amiga UI. I think I'll leave the timer just for some challenge to remain, but I'm going to turn Infinite Lives on just so we can see more of the content of the game. So now what do? Hit fire, space. And here we are at that title screen we saw. Graphics by Mark Eason and Malcolm Smith. That's common to all versions. Programming for this version was Nicholas A. Jones. Yeah, Nick Jones. Also did the DOS version programming, whereas... let's see. The ZX Spectrum was done by Ian McArdle and Dee Richards, and the Amiga by both of those and Jonathan Howell. Music in all versions by J.C. Brooke. The only one of those whose credits I found something that sort of related to things I've done before is the programmer of this version, Nick Jones, who also worked on programming Alien 3 for the SNES, which I did briefly play, I think, on the Alien 3 stream. I spent most time on the Game Boy version, but that's an interesting link back to Daryl Bowers, the programmer of Anaconda, who worked on the NES port of Alien 3. We got someone on the SNES version here, so that's kind of weird. Nick Jones also worked on Skull Monkeys, the claymation 2D platform for the PlayStation that I played on stream in a 2-part series a while ago. I really do recommend that game and its soundtrack. It's a lot of fun. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go into the game by pressing fire to start. So here we are. And as you can see, it's clear. Oh, it's lost my button assignment. Of course it has. Bear with me. Just gonna make sure that fire is bound to this button, which means I can jump. No, wait, wrong one. Sorry. I actually want to clear that. Oh boy, what happened? Yeah, so clear that and then map up to X, which means I can jump by pressing X. Isn't that nice? Oh, it also whips, but I don't mind that, I guess. We won't be able to jump without whipping, unless we hit up, so I could do that. I don't know what all these things do. Well, the clock probably gives me more time, but having infinite lives is such a relief. Oh, that's a problem. Because my fire is bound to X as well as... maybe I can fix that by moving to the second slot. That's worked before. Just test that out. No, nothing's working. Okay. Oh, something's partially working. Alright, I have to fiddle with this a bit, I guess. Well, I'll just bear with it. When I have to do a jump, I'll use up. It's a hassle. I'm gonna have the same problems as I did on Amiga, but I think we're good. Oh, what was that? I guess I was killed off screen. Anyway, we can see that the enemies are sort of similar, but maybe a little bit different. They're even more different on the ZX Spectrum version. Maybe I'll show you that after I've played a bit of this one. I'll try and get to the end, but I really don't know how long this game is. It certainly takes longer than Anaconda and Mafdet, that's for sure. But yeah, hopefully it should be obvious to you the big difference in sort of playability, or maybe perceived playability, if you can tell. Oh, we do have... Okay, so maybe they're not as unique as I thought. They just look different. One thing I noticed almost straight away on the ZX Spectrum version was these enemies, which is just sort of a big foot with like a weird mouth tentacle thing coming out of it. So it looks like... Yeah, especially because the graphics people credited the same between all versions. We do actually have the same enemies all the time. They just look a bit different on the different platforms. Okay, that's fine. That gives me less reason to play the Spectrum version, but I at least will show it off a little bit later. Because it's another interesting kind of step in technological, thing. power of the console, whatever. So I'm going to use the jump button here because it doesn't impact my... Oh, it does. Does it? It's about the same. I'm trying to get the muscle memory of just using up to jump now. But as you can see, like, level design is quite similar between the versions. I've noticed now that all the graphics are quite similar as well. It's just a difference in fidelity. They're a lot less detailed here on C64, but actually, interestingly, the upper UI with the dinosaurs sort of cradling my score counter and stuff, there's different species represented in the different versions, I've now noticed. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's that interesting, but hey, whatever. Yeah, just the main thing about this is it plays a lot smoother. The animation is clearly smoother. I don't know if it runs at a different frame rate or whatever, but basically the play experience of this, even though it's a less powerful bit of hardware, and it's able to do less detailed graphics, I think it results in a better game just from a playability standpoint, which is, I don't know, one of my main concerns with playing games. Certainly I would rank it higher than graphics. So yeah, that's... Oh. I'm so glad that I have infinite lives, because it's really easy to make a mistake. I'm just curious about where this goes and what's gonna... what's gonna happen to Vixen as we progress. Come on, please. Mafdet didn't really have a final boss. Anaconda certainly did with the dragon, but we weren't really able to fight it thanks to the lack of collision, which was a necessary step. So I'm curious what this one does. We've seen already, of course, the purpose of the fox in the game, only used in the bonus stages in between these ordinary platforming stages. So out of the three, I think Mafdet had the best representation of, like, the protagonist being able to actively and usefully transform into an animal form, because I did certainly find it useful to avoid a lot of enemies that way and increase my speed too. Oh, we've lost our gem. I wonder how that works exactly. Oh, maybe we get an extra life when we get all the gems? I shouldn't have fallen down. I've missed all these other stones up there. I'll have to keep an eye on that gem counter during normal gameplay as well. I think the fox is quite well animated. They have to have been using some pretty good references when they drew that. I wonder what reference they did for a person crawling on the ground. Oh, new enemies. That's great. Seems like every stage is going to have... well, I guess I can't hurt these ones. And it's pretty hard to jump over them too. She's sleeping. Cute cat. I wish you could see my cat right now. She's asleep on a cushion right next to me. And it's adorable. I've been thinking about doing a face cam, and if I did, it would double as occasional cat cam. Yeah, chat docs and face cam is something I'm considering. I've never used them before, or rarely. This is rough. Oh, instant death? Yeah, we just gotta wait and... Ugh. I'm not sure about this. What? What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Just comparing how far behind the stream is compared
Oh,
to your
yeah.
live action.
I think it's usually like 10 to 15 seconds or something. And that counts for chat as well. Okay, so I don't have any gems left. I wasn't watching the bar as closely as I maybe should have. Well, I can glance over at my delayed broadcast and see that there's no gems in the bar at the top. Wonder what's going on with that. Also, the colors look more vivid on my screen than they do in the broadcast. I don't know why that is. The Amiga game must have looked real dull. No. So again, we have new enemies, bats this time. No. So I don't know when bats became dinosaurs, but there you go. Whatever. It's an excuse plot anyway. Whoa. Did I just do a Milo jump? Technically in this game you jump higher if you're holding up while jumping, but you also jump by holding up, so I don't think it counts. You can't just tap up to do a tiny little hop, but to get the maximum jump you hold that button. Not button, joystick in this case. Don't know if it had keyboard controls. Did the Commodore 64 have keyboard controls? I've only ever used a joystick with it that just had the fire button. Because I was definitely using keyboard controls on the Amiga in addition to the joystick. Yes, I am Leet, thank you for noticing. My driver's license number actually contains Leet. I shouldn't have said that. Well, that's only part of it. Please don't steal my driver's license identity, thank you. Oops. Okay, so you did have keyboard controls on the Commodore 64. Interesting. It certainly gives you a lot more options than just the fire button of the joystick, that's for sure. So I'm not surprised. Death is just constant. It's something you got to get used to in this game. Let me see. I've got one more bit of trivia about this game that I can tell you. It's not called Vixen in all territories. It is in French, but when they came to release it in Germany, they found that Vixen sounds similar to a naughty word in German, so they changed it to she-wolf. Oops. So falling in the water as a fox instantly ends the bonus stage, I see. Yeah. She-wolf. So I saw some German reviews of this game that were calling it that. Dee-dee-dee. Okay. I also saw a comment on this game saying that, well, they compared it to Jill of the Jungle, which of course is another game I've played on stream. You can see the similarity in the style of heroine. Kind of, it's that sort of evocation of Tarzan style aesthetics, but with a sexy lady instead. A popular trope. Especially, well, yeah. You get all the quote-unquote exoticism of the wilderness and jungle and such, as well as the main character gets to be white. Isn't that fantastic? White savior stuff, Tarzan. It's all very problematic. Anyway, it's all an alien planet, so it doesn't really matter. We're just a space colonist who... The colony was wiped out by dinosaurs, I guess, and for some reason there's foxes on this alien planet, and they raised me, so that's all cool. Don't know where the whip came from. I guess the foxes on this planet wear boots and also use whips, and that's where that comes from. Yeah, I guess it's like Puss in Boots, but with a fox. Yeah. So my fox parents taught me the ways of the whip and gave me a mission to kill all these weird looking dinosaurs before they kill, I don't know, the foxes, I guess, because the humans are already dead at this point. Jeez Louise. Okay. Wonder how many levels there are. Oh gosh. I never even thought of that, Gibbon. Can you believe that? I need to read Gibbon's comment here. So what I'm hearing is that it's about a lone fox woman on a strange alien planet populated by dinosaurs. Is her name Crystal? And yeah, the similarities to Star Fox Adventures / Dinosaur Planet were completely lost on me until you said that. That's fantastic. Thanks for putting that in my head. That's cool. Gosh, this would be a lot better if it was Crystal. I don't know. I guess part of the gimmick here is the two different states of the character. You wouldn't have that at least. But yeah, that's interesting. Okay, this time I'm gonna sort of run fast through this, not stop for anything unless it's one of those special gems. You can grab things on your way through, but it's a little distracting as well for me. Oh, I'm leaving that one behind. Don't know what the whip does, but I'm grabbing it. And I only ever get 2 gems on these stages. I don't know what's going on. Oh well. I guess it only gives you a bonus there anyway. Oh. It skipped the bonus phase there. Maybe I've reached the maximum score. No, I haven't. Have I gotten close to timing out in any of these? I think the foot is my favorite enemy. It makes no sense, especially if they're all supposed to be dinosaurs. It's a human foot. Like, look at it. Maybe it's some kind of mutant parasite that's overtaken one of the deceased colonists and also grown the foot to gigantic proportion. Let's go with that. Aliens can do anything, you know. You can ascribe whatever abilities you want to weird aliens. How many points do these even give me? It's like 40? Not much. Alright, so this is what, a Dinosaur Planet prequel? Explaining why there's no humans left on the planet. Because there's already mutant dinosaurs on Saria. Sometimes it's explained as like general scales experimentations. That's how, I think that's how Dracor is described. He was originally like the secret twist final boss in place of Andros. One of the descendants of the, what are they called? Like a race of mystical dragons who created the planet or whatever before the log people got involved. Oh no. Spellstones, dark matter, force point, warlock. What's the name of the alien people Andros was disguised as one of them? Oh my gosh. Fake rare fan over here. Ah! Nuts. Oh, I misread Gibbon's comment earlier. She said, the Leet Milo jump. I'm not late, the jump is, definitely. Yeah. Wow. They're really throwing a lot of enemies at you at this point. Blah. Ah. I don't know how that thing is supposed to be a dinosaur at all. What's up, Minna? Did my gamer noises wake you up? How is the whip hitbox? How does that whip hitbox even work? Given, what's the name of the aliens in long robes in Dinosaur Planet? Ah! Krazoa! Oh my god, thank you. Can't believe I forgot the word Krazoa. It's one of the few words in dinosaur speak that is the same, because there's no lilat equivalent. The enemy spam is getting absurd. You would never be able to complete this game without the infinite lives trainer. So anyway, what was I saying about the Krazoa? Yeah, the Krazoa came along after the Sumerian dragons, I believe. And anyway, there's other mutants in Star Fox Adventures. There's these kind of odd blobby creatures in Moon Mountain Pass, and they're explained as local dinosaurs that were mutated by the radiation of the fallen meteors in Moon Mountain Pass, which were made of radioactive space rock and created a race of mutants. And you see some more of them later on as well, I think, from memory. But yeah, mutants, that closes the mutant loop. But clearly mutants are rampant here, so it might be set after the time of Star Fox Adventures, when mutants have taken over the planet. Of course, the Aparoid invasion caused a mass exodus of dinosaurs when their civilization was pretty much destroyed in Star Fox Assault. And our fan theories take it that... Well, I think the Exodus is fan theory, but the theory is that they then migrated to Earth, settling in Timbers Island and creating the area Dino Domain, where you see Tricky, last seen as King of the Earthwalkers in Assault, as a larger and more grown-up Triceratops, now interested in racing and brainwashed by Wizpig, thus explaining the presence of dinosaurs in the setting of Diddy Kong Racing, is they came from Dinosaur Planet, aka Saria. That's one of my all-time favorite DK Vine theories, because it makes so much sense. It explains the tricky sort of discontinuity. Of course, on some level, it was always supposed to be the same Tricky, thanks to Dinosaur Planet starting its development life as a follow-up project to Diddy Kong Racing. So, what do you think, Gibbon? Is this before or after Star Fox Adventures? Considering we don't really know of any human contact with the Lilat system, I would be tempted to put it after. But if it was like an isolated colony that was wiped out here by these dinosaurs, and then I don't know what happened to Vixen, she could still be around. It's easy to overlook one individual. There's been contact between the Lilat world and humans, even outside of, well, Dinosaur Planet didn't have any, Diddy Kong Racing didn't have any humans in it. I'm thinking of the F-Zero connections. There's things like Octoman from F-Zero turns up in Star Fox Command as a boss. And of course you have James McCloud in human form, which my theory is always that he was transformed in a sort of unexplainable way due to passage through the wormhole, through the black hole rather. You see in the Benimaru Ito Nintendo Power comics that strange things happen in the black hole, and there's aliens that live in there that live inside giant space whales, that's spaceships, and yeah, you can see in the games that weird stuff happens out of that dimension and in the black hole. So yeah, I always explain that as like James went to a different part of the universe or whatever and was transformed into a human from his fox form. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Oh, there you go. Gibbon is bringing in the Starlink theories, which, yeah, I'm on board with that. I have bought Starlink at great expense to myself. We never had the, like, oh, you can get a new copy for $5 for ages. We didn't have that here, so mine cost significantly more than that. But it's on my shelf and I'm going to play it when I build up some more enthusiasm for Star Fox, which was mostly sucked out of me forcefully by playing Zero. It kind of destroyed my soul. But when my soul regrows, I'll be happy to play Starlink. I've actually got some stream tie-ins to that set up as well, because Argonaut did a couple of other Super FX style games on the Super Nintendo and also DOS, without using the Super FX technology, of course, in that case, but similar kind of polygonal stuff. As well as some Star Fox homages that I want to show off on stream at some point. So when I'm in the mood for it, I'll definitely get all that going and I'll play Starlink. I'm keen to try it out at least. Especially since Gibbon's been very vocal about her love of it. So Starlink was the Ubisoft's kind of... well, it was their attempt at Toys to Life, which was maybe unnecessary, but the point is it's an open world kind of space action game. But it had a Star Fox crossover on the Nintendo platform. So Gibbon's link there with... yeah, so I guess her idea of how the dinosaurs got from Saria and the Lylat system to Earth was using the warp gate technology from Starlink Battle for Atlas. And lamenting that everyone forgets about Starlink. That's very encouraging, actually. Gibbon's comment that Starlink healed my soul after Zero. That's what I need. I was waiting for time to heal my soul, but maybe I need to just jump into it, yeah. Man, Zero was just crushing. Like, it was just like, I found it so insulting. I don't know. I don't have to get into it because I get riled up and full of upset. Yeah. Given saying, I can't state how disappointed I was playing Zero. I feel exactly the same way. You can go to my Tumblr review from a few years ago and just, like, the venom spewing out of me. Oh my gosh. Like, I just had such a viscerally emotional negative reaction to Star Fox Zero. Woof. But hey, we don't have to dwell too much on that. Because we're Vixen. Wait a minute. I don't think the backstory of Vixen explains why she can turn into a fox. She's a human who was raised by foxes. Oh, unless all the humans of this planet, or the so-called humans, have the power to turn into a fox, but maybe there's a community that chose to remain foxes. You know, kind of like Tobias in Animorphs, sort of. But she retains the power to go between them at will. More or less at will. I guess being a fox is no use in the battle against dinosaurs. Well, that's my theory for this game's backstory. I don't know how else I would explain it. Where's my gems? Yummy, eat the gem. I assume that's what the fox is doing. Eating the gem. There's a like tiny animation when you hit the fire button, and you have to do that to pick up an item here in these phases. But there's no enemies to interact with, so it's not really an attack. You know, I wish I knew what those did. Maybe I should have looked harder for an instruction sheet. I did see like the backs of the boxes and stuff, which is where I got the backstory from. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I guess it's magic. There's magic here. There was magic in Dinosaur Planet too. All these gems have got to be some magical use, don't they? Whoa! Time for an essay from Gibbon. I'm gonna read it. Starlink. Blah. Just amazing. Like, I know it's super cliche to say a game is the Breath of the Wild of X series, but it really is. Free range flying across the entire planet, and if you want to go to another planet, you just nose up and fly into space seamlessly. There's no loading zones, and you fly through the galaxy, through asteroid fields and space armadas, flying over to your mothership or doing Star Fox 1 style, fly through the battleship things, dogfights with space pirates, etc., and then fly down to another planet's surface and start exploring. It's so amazing. I could go on for ages. That is cool. Do not apologize. The only reason that I spent that large amount of money on a copy of the game is from your recommendations, which is, I've done it several times. And Gibbon is passionate about a lot of things, so if you're friends with her and you take her opinion seriously, you will end up buying a lot of stuff. And hey, you'll end up enjoying it, I'm sure. I can attest to that. Ah, those like hopping bees, they take like 3 hits to kill, and they just reach you before you ever get a chance to do that. Ah! That one thing that just killed me, that's the enemy that looks most like a dinosaur in this game. Even though they're a bit twisted and odd. So yeah, thanks to my infinite lives, it is just faster to run into things a lot of the time. Oh. Am I stuck? I'm stuck. I can't get out of here. Oh, thank God. I've spawned at an earlier platform by falling in the water. Because I couldn't make that jump. I could not recover from that position. Quite rude, I would say. Eh. Oh. All right. I have no idea what level I'm on, how many levels there are, how long I've got to go. I'm just going to keep playing until we're done. It will probably actually be a short stream today. I should have mentioned this earlier, but if you know of any other games where the protagonist, especially if it's a heroine, changes into an animal, then let me know. I'd be interested to check it out. I've got another few games on my spreadsheet that are like where you have an animal buddy or companion. Oh yeah, Lady Sia and Cameo. Sure, that works. I found it interesting that I found 3 of them on, you know, these related computer platforms especially. So those sort of count. I guess I'm talking about of the type of games I would usually stream on retro consoles and computers. Also, I do want to address this. Last stream I mentioned it was International Women's Day. Sometimes I like to do a stream showcasing the creations of female developers, so I tried to do that for this one, while tying it into a Commodore 64 theme that's been ongoing here on the stream, but I had trouble finding information on women who had made Commodore 64 games. They're out there, but yeah. I was halfway through researching this and decided to just go ahead with this instead. This theme of the transforming heroine. Yeah, I'm not going to play Bayonetta on this stream. But thanks for the suggestions. I have played Lady CL. Yeah, Cameo is an interesting one. I don't have the means to play it, but I've always been kind of interested in it. Although in that case, I guess... Yeah, it's interesting. Like in Cameo, the sort of other characters that you transform into are... They have separate existences in the world, right? And then you're like borrowing their power to transform into them, but they are their own people. Whereas with these ones, it's a person whose animal form is like part of them and part of their innate abilities. Come on. These jumps are always so annoying. Ah, and then some of them can make it over. There we go. Could try like despawning them, walking backwards or something. Anyway. What was I going to say? Yes, another game that I've played that would be in this theme. Actually, what's the time? Huh. Alright, let me explain to you my thought process just then. So, ages ago I played a DOS game called Inner Worlds, which I was super impressed with. It's from a later era than this, but it's like quite in-depth and has a huge story written for it, and was made by like this loose collective of people from all over the world tied together by this one project manager. So the story of its development is really cool, and the game itself is really cool too. And so in that one, you're a woman who has the power to transform into a wolf, and you do that often during the game. Unlike the 3 games that I played today, it's something that is useful during levels that you change back and forth frequently. Okay. So yeah, Inner Worlds, really cool game. After I'd done the stream on it, they ended up, because the original creator still has the rights to it. It was an early indie game, and he published it on Steam, and you can get it for a pretty reasonable price. It's just sort of probably a DOSBox wrapper on the DOS version. So that's cool, and I've gone ahead and bought that. If I were to do a follow-up, I would play it that way. If I'd thought ahead and seen that this stream is maybe underrunning a little bit, depending on how long this game is. This is, going a while and it's quite repetitive. But I'm hanging out there that maybe something's going to happen that... Oh, a third crystal! How about that? A new design up there on our bar. Great stuff. You'll love to see it. Anyway, yeah, if I'd known, I might have set that up to play more of Inner Worlds, because on the previous stream where I played it, I got through episode 1 of 3, and there are 2 more full episodes to go through, and I've always considered going back and playing the other 2 episodes on a subsequent stream. Let me see. It might be in my files now, actually. When we get to the end of this, I'll just go through my file system a little bit and see if I can run it for a little bit just to tie it in with these other 3 games of a similar theme. But one thing that I learned from that stream is, I think the creator commented on the video, on the YouTube video, which is very nice. I always get such a thrill when a developer does that, because they love seeing their games played, especially if it's like that, a small project that was a sort of labor of love kind of thing. So yeah, he commented on that stream, and I learned from correspondence with him that they're working on a remake of the game. So I don't know how far along that is, but his company over there does like software stuff, not necessarily games that often, but through that company they republished the original on Steam, and had or have plans to do a more substantial remake of it, which I would be all for. So that's cool. Yeah, Inner Worlds. Go check out my earlier stream of that if you like. Oh no, are we stuck in another death situation here? There's a little kind of pause when you're midair while like if you attack while jumping. And I'm trying to use that to maybe get a bit more air or distance, but I don't think that's working. This ain't good, people. This ain't good. This is the height of my jump. That's the... oh, well, that's not going to work. I do hope I'm not stuck again. Can I respawn at a higher point, please? It's going to put me back on this lip, isn't it? This might be the... oh! We did the late Milo jump, people. Sort of. Yeah, I can't do it again. Well, that's the key. But because of my hubris in not turning the timer off, we might actually get a timeout in this scenario. Actually, that would be a blessing because a timeout might actually let me restart the stage. It would be the only way to escape this situation, so I'm glad I didn't turn the time off. I wonder if I can get a jump a little bit later. You know, Mega Man style, you can sort of edge out over the void like this. Ugh, well. And then... jump! Oh, I'm sure that might have been the best jump I could possibly be capable of. Go! Oh boy. Oh wait, every time I die, my timer resets. Is timer just a life? Oh, it's not going to restart the stage? Well, then my only hope is to do the patented, fully sick Leap Milo jump by jumping off some kind of invisible ledge in this platform. I don't know how I did it before, but I'm going to try and do it again. Actually... oh. Ah! Yes! No! I think if I die, it respawns me partially in the wall. Are you kidding? Why did it put me back there? I need to die close to the wall so it puts me slightly inside the wall and then I can jump up it. By the way, since we've been in this level for so long, we're actually hearing more of the music that we never heard before. Kill me, please. Oh, it's looped back to the start now. I just need to die. The sweet release of oblivion. Yes! And we're in! Hey! Oh no! Okay, we're here. Okay. Don't you dare. Thank you! We made it! Sometimes death resets my timer and sometimes it doesn't. I cannot figure that out. Because there were times there where it didn't reset. But now it's giving me 50 seconds again each time. Oops. The timer actually carried over there because it was above 50 seconds because I picked up that little clock pickup. You know, I don't need more Fox items because I'm at full already. No! Yeah, come on. Come on, dinosaurs. You've had your fun. Thank you. Goodness me. Just how many levels are there in this game? Oh, I might not be able to run Inner Worlds actually from this computer. I don't think... like, my DOSBox client Boxer doesn't run on my current computer. I'm trying to think if I had another fork of it. Is there a Mac port of DOSBox that's not Boxer? If there is, I don't think I have it right now. I can check after this, but yeah, that might be a bit of a damper on that plan. And by damper, I don't mean a delicious bread cooked in a fire. Okay, to be fair, it's not that delicious. I wonder if people in other countries know what damper is. I learned about it from Scouts. I feel like it's like a Bushman thing. Like, you know the Swaggy in Waltzing Matilda? He was probably eating damper. You make this bread dough, you wrap it in like foil, and then you cook it in the coals of a fire, of a campfire. Have you ever heard of damper, Gibbon? It probably didn't taste good because we didn't use enough salt. That's a common downfall. How do you spell it? D-A-M-P-E-R. As in more damp than something else. It's spelled the same as that. And now I've said it so many times that the word's lost all meaning. What's a jolly swagman? Yeah, here's some damper recipes. A staple of the early Australian settlers' diet. Dough cooked directly on the coals of an open fire. So, yeah. I guess it would be derived from that era, so sorry for spreading colonizer propaganda there, but... yeah, I guess it's an Australian thing. There you go. I wouldn't seek it out, though. It's very much a sort of food of desperation. You can get much better bread these days, for sure. But without newfangled convection ovens and such. Well, I guess the best way to make bread is in a wood-fired oven, maybe? I don't know. It's the best way to make pizza. Who knows? See, this is another reused layout. You've seen this before. Does this game actually end, or does it just loop? I'm starting to have doubts. Do you just keep going until you run out of all your lives and die? If the levels loop, then it might just be a high score chasing game. And it doesn't tell you what level you're on. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna look up a long play of this game and see if there's an ending. Because there's no way any human is going to be able to do this without the infinite lives. Just look at the conditions that we're working under here. Okay, a tool-assisted long play of the game goes for 23 minutes. Okay. What's this? Okay, they went over the bridge. Oh, here we go. So there's a part of the game where this long play has all of the crystals, but it is tool assisted, so they probably never take any damage. They probably get all the crystals really easily. And I think what happens is you lose them when you die, and I'm constantly dying. So yeah, they get more crystals. That's not a trigger for the end of the game though. It looks like they just play until they finish one of the stages and then it just cuts off. So I think we might have seen all the content in the game at this point. Yeah, if we've passed the bridge level and... yeah. Okay, I'm done. How strange. Wait, why is there a Mega Drive? Oh, it's a different game. Yeah, the word Vixen is like used a lot. Yeah, alright. Well, we're done with this. What I want to show you now is the... I guess I should save state. But then again, I did find out that doing that... Yeah, just don't use the quick one. Make a different one. Okay, so I've done that. Now I can quit. Alright, what I want to show you now is the ZX Spectrum version, briefly. We won't do too much with it. Just I find it interesting to compare the platforms. Like I said, the Atari ST, DOS, and Amstrad CPC are pretty similar to the Amiga version, as far as I can tell. So it might not be too valuable to play through those, especially because it's, you know, difficult emulating each of them in its own ways. Let's see. So there's my lovely Spectrum emulator Fuse I'm using today. Yeah, sorry, I just sort of got in a zone of playing and didn't really notice that it was incredibly repetitive. The Spectrum release was done in 3 parts. There were 3 separate discs. This version is all in 1 disc, I believe. Lovely title screen using that color palette there. Now, what did I had some notes about this, I think. Kempston, yeah. So if I use Kempston mode, you can tell that it's the same music there. Oh, it only plays on the title screen, not during gameplay. Just with a different, sound chip. So yeah, this is the Spectrum version. Obviously, with the limitations of the platform, a lot of stuff is monocolored, but they've still retained the detail of the sprites, and the feel and the play control is pretty similar to the Commodore version, I gotta say, which is nice for the platform especially. I'm just as fast as that little Dino. There's actually, a different appearance for those normal gem pickups, and for the UI bar again, which has a different central gem indicator, as well as, again, different dinosaur species represented on the sides of my screen thing up there. So that's always interesting. Each version has that its own thing. And these foot enemies appear early in the Spectrum version, which is how I noticed them. They did show up later in the Commodore 64 version as well. But they look particularly choice in the Spectrum version, I think. And you can see that all the pickups actually have slightly different sprites to them, which is a little bit interesting, possibly. I do like the puff of dust that the enemies disappear into when they're vanquished. These ones, that particular enemy type looks a bit different on this, but you can see the similarity. It's actually interesting. They had the same basic design, but all sage power lost, end of game. That's actually some lore. I guess we're a sage, some kind of fox sage. I wonder if I can challenge myself now to get through to the fox portion on the Spectrum version where I don't have ready access to save states because I don't know what the shortcut is and I can't pause. There we go. We'll do a little challenge run here. Oh, that was weird. Okay, we didn't actually see the drowning animation yet, so that was cool, I guess. Also some dithered colors on the ground texture, as well as parts of the UI bar. That's cool. But yeah, I guess it's cool to compare the enemy designs. Nice jingle, that's cool. So maybe the current gems you have gives you a bonus at the end of every level. Yeah, Gibbon saying, I do love the Spectrum's color palette. Yeah. Did you see that little revelation that was posted earlier in the Raniverse chat? The Spectrum keyboard. So the Spectrum, you know, it only has certain colors it can work with. But those colors are sort of mapped to function keys on the keyboard, possibly for the development or something. I'm not sure. But considering it's a rare chat, we talk a lot about Banjo-Kazooie, and the secret hidden items of Stop and Swap, the mystery eggs and the ice key. Somebody pointed out that the colors of the Stop and Swap eggs in Banjo-Kazooie and the order that they're displayed on the Stop and Swap screen match up with those color keys on the Spectrum keyboard. So it was like blue, magenta, yellow, cyan, all that kind of stuff. I don't remember the order itself. And then ending with white, representing the ice key. So that was a bit of a revelation, considering Rare's history as Ultimate and their output on the Spectrum. Part of that identity carried through to Banjo-Kazooie, which is a lot of fun. So here we are with the fox. Very cute, as always. Very long during a jump. But I guess that's just foxes. Yeah, lovely little animation on that monocolor sprite. As you'd expect from the Spectrum. I think they've done well here on most versions of the game. Making it look really nice. Oh, we don't get unique gem graphics in the UI bar for the subsequent gem pickups, but yeah, I think what we identified is that if you manage to hold on to your life as long as you can, you'll get more gems, you'll eventually fill up that bar, you'll get more points at the end of a level. And who knows what that whip pickup does? I have still not figured it out. You know, I did say when I first was thinking about the whip pickup, all enemies die in one hit, but that's not true because we have those hoppy bees that took 3 hits, so perhaps the whip will help you with those. But it's hard to know for sure because I'm never going to get that far on the... Oh, yeah, see, I've already lost it. You lose everything on death. Ugh. And I accidentally did a small jump. All stage power lost. That's it. All right. I'll let this nice little Spectrum jingle play out. Make sure you can hear it better. While I do a quick investigation of... well, let me see. Let's just blank that out while I look. Sorry. So DOSBox. Boxer doesn't work anymore, so I deleted it, but I kept my games folder here. I've got Inner Worlds, and I've probably got the save somewhere too. But I don't currently have a way to play DOS games on this computer, so what I'm going to do is do a quick little search. M1 Mac DOSBox. So okay, so DOSBox X supports M1. Okay, that's great, because I like DOSBox X. I've used it on the PC. It's a nice fork of DOSBox that actually has a bunch of cool extra features, including save state support. So if I can get... Where's the download button? Just the home page, I guess. Okay. The downloads page has Intel based and ARM based listed, but it doesn't mention M1, which is my current hardware. M1 0.83.8, 0.83.23 is the latest, so that will work. Good, it didn't say so, but it will. M1's a new architecture that Apple developed to get them out of the Intel tyranny. So is this what I do? Okay. DOSBox. Open, please. All right, here we go. Let me show you what I can see. And I will cut this jingle off, sorry. Oh, it's just getting good. Let's leave it going. I'm going to be messing around with a terminal window for a little bit. So I just need to capture the DOSBox window. This one. Okay. Alright, so Mount C, let's go. Oh, but how does it work on the Mac? See, the thing about Boxer, which was a binary for, like a GUI for DOSBox, it would do all this stuff for you. It'd wrap a game and let you launch it automatically. I haven't navigated this on a Mac. Does it create a virtual C drive? Is that how it works? Sorry. Hope you're enjoying this jingle. I am. So where would that be? Where would it put it? Like Wine doesn't work anymore on my M1 Mac. That's a huge blow to me, but I'm just so glad I have a PC now as well. I'm privileged enough to have 2 computers. C doesn't exist. Of course it doesn't. Help. This is my first time using the proper DOSBox interface on a Mac. So where am I? Z drive. There is no Z drive, but where would that be virtually? I have no idea. Oh, here it is. Oh, that works. Okay, so Z drive is in the folder. So if I just put the Inner Worlds game there, I hope that works. No, that might not. Hold on. Because that's a version that I already did with thingy. The thingy, you know the thingy. With the Boxer is what I'm talking about here, sorry. It might work. I'll check it, but I'll also do this. So I'll put that there. Okay. So what do you do? LS to tell you what's in it? What? But I just put it in Z. Huh. Well, if Z is not there, then where is it? Given says, DOSBox is so much work. Yeah, it is. I got a workflow for it in my brain for doing it on PC, but yeah. Unless these are all hidden files, but then it would display these the non-hidden ones too. Oh, read me. I'll read that. That's great. Let me read you. Yeah, okay. Putting them... Yeah, that's what I did. This explanation makes no sense to me because I'm in Finder in the Drive Z folder, but what I'm seeing is completely different from what I just got from LS. So I'm kind of stuck at that point. Well, I guess I could search for autoexec.bat and see if I can see where this thinks it is. Oh, there's too many of those. Where are you? Oh, these are other similar files. That shouldn't be there. What? Oh yeah, that's different. Nope, that's... I can't find that anywhere. I've done a search of my file system in Finder, and autoexec.bat does not appear. So again, I'm stuck. Okay, I had two executables in here, DOSBox X SDL1 and SDL2. So I'm trying to launch SDL2 now. Which security settings are preventing, of course, because why wouldn't they? Cancel. And just to show you what I'm doing, here we are. Don't know what the difference between SDL1 and 2 is, but ls. Aha! This one works. So, Vixen. Oh, I need to... Vixen's inside of a folder, I believe. I can at least show you the DOS version of Vixen. Oh, sorry. Vixen slash Vic... No? What am I doing? CD... Yeah, so I'm in Vixen. And then, what is it? Vixen.exe. No, I'm not using an IBM-style joystick game port. Sorry to say. I'll quit the Spectrum version now, and we can do a brief show-off of the DOS version of Vixen. Because I don't think I can run Inner Worlds because I've, like, created a box of wrapper for it. Okay. Oh, look, it's slightly more readable in the Amiga version because it's black on brown rather than brown on brown. Oh, gosh. Whoa, the speed is way too high, and I can't move. WASD, no. Z to crouch. M and N to run. How about that? I don't know what attack is. Spacebar? Okay, great. I don't know how to change game speed, but as you can see, very similar to the Amiga version. How do I start? F2? Oh, the screen is going past so quick. F1 to exit. F5 to pause. Oh, there's the keys. A, Z, M, and SP. Space, yeah. So what does A do? Fire, start game. Space, okay, space works. A is jump. No music during gameplay either, by the way. So that's Vixen on DOS. Like I said, very similar to the Amiga version, including the look of the enemies. Yeah. So let's quit that. I'll see if the Inner Worlds executable is like inside the thing. How do you go up a level in DOS? Like up one. Help. Like, I know what directory I'm in. I need to go up a directory. I'm such a noob at this. Dear. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, so that's inside the Vixen folder that I put in Z drive. Up. Nope. How about I just close the program and relaunch it? Very clever. Okay. So I'm just doing a quick check if my Inner Worlds install. Yeah, it's .box. Yeah, I can't run it. So can I do like slash or CD into it? CD Inner Worlds. Oh, okay, that worked. So ls dosbox.con. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like I said, this is like a box of wrapper around the DOS game Inner Worlds. I don't have it stored somewhere else, do I? I might do. I can do a quick check for that. Pardon me. Like Windows games. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'll copy that in. And put it here. Beautiful. Oh wait, now I need to go up a level again. I don't know how to do that, so I'm quitting it again. Oh, what's this now? Yes, you can have my keystrokes. Dang it. Take my keystrokes, please. Stupid. Okay. Security, like, preferences are too stringent. Anyway, we're back. We're not capturing. There we are. All right, let me show you a little bit of one of my favorite DOS games. Sorry, CD. There's two of them now, so actually I'll just delete that other one. I wonder if I need to do anything. No. Inner worlds. Yep, that works. And then let's try this one. Ooh, that's an install. No, I don't want that. Shareware. What's the... I think it's installed here. Yeah, so IWXE. What? What? Ugh. Did I use the wrong slash? I did. That one. What? Do I have to CD every time? Come on, people. Get it together. What? Huh? What? Excuse me? It's not letting me CD now. I'm not. What? What? What the heck? Okay, so I can mount C, since I'm in this directory. Shareware, right? That works? Yeah, okay. No, it doesn't exist. But you just told me it's there when I hit LS. All right, well, fine. Run that. Yeah, but don't install it to C, install it to Z, IW. What? Come on, please. All right, well, we're not doing that today. Forget it. This was too much bother. I shouldn't have done it. It was worth a try, people. All right, well, thanks for joining me. We've reached the time limit of my usual streams anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, this has been a bit of fun. Again, if you have any ideas of other games that might be similar to these in theme, let me know. I'd be keen to try them out. And yeah, emulators need to become more user-friendly. If I say it, then it's easy to do, right? Anyway, thanks for joining me. I said that already, probably. I don't know what I'm doing next time. So yeah, maybe more Commodore 64 games, maybe other games from this era of computers. If I can find a nice thing on my spreadsheet that I want to knock out. Otherwise, give games a chance. Anything I want to plug? That itch bundle benefiting Ukraine, I think, is over. Can't plug that. Well, that's all. It's been good hanging out with you. See you again. Stay safe and be excellent to each other. Farewell.